So what's happening in the Middle East as we are about to enter the last week of the year 2024? All of the changes that are happening right now are affecting people globally, and they are going to have a ripple effect in the very near future. And all of this can be also seen under spiritual eyes, or in a more spiritual sense. For what is happening right now, the peacocks are making noises outside. What is happening right now is actually a movement that we have seen in the last 100 years here on Earth, when it comes to economy and globalization and the inspiration to have one world government. But actually what is behind all of this is the moving towards one perception, unity, one God, and therefore one people, humanity, which has been, you could say, the agenda, right, since the beginning of what we call monotheism or monotheistic religions, which is the belief in one God, in one sovereignty, in one source, in this creator that is encapsulating all of this, that is providing, and that is the giver and the source for everything that we see around us, including ourselves. And it's not only about Earth, right? It's about the entire cosmos, everything that we have in existence. So actually, when we are coming together, when we are unifying, when we let go of boundaries, of separation, then we return to the source, we return to this aspect of humanity, globalization, being one, functioning as one entity. And for this to happen, the old structure need to give way, right? And this is what we are seeing right now. We are seeing humanity standing against extremism and saying no more. Now all of this is being blown up in our faces, in a way, forcing humanity to really dive deep and look into the essence and the core of our morality, of what we believe is true or false, and mostly the core values that each and every one of us have. And the Middle East is providing now, or again, the playground for this. For if we look at the old scriptures, right, we learn that everything started in this region, in the region that is Iran, Iraq, and Syria. And then it moved also to Israel and then to Egypt. So what we call Mesopotamia, which is the birth of our known civilization, the last 5,000 years, you could even say 10,000 years if you want to move away from the scripture and more to archaeology and history. Then Mesopotamia, the birth of what we know of this civilization, is Iran, Iraq, and Syria. And now we are witnessing changes, huge changes in Syria. And all eyes are on Iran and the regime over there and the changes over there. And even the current bombings and strikes of Israel and other forces in Yemen. Even Yemen plays a big role in it, being part of this region, being the host of the old Kush Empire that gave us the Queen of Sheba and the history that also influenced Egypt and ancient Egypt. So what we're seeing here, you could see it as cleansing, old structures that needs to give way. We had a very extreme forces guarding actually those very ancient spiritual places. And all of those places, there were temples, olden temples that served different gods, and mainly the masculine and the feminine aspects of the gods, Baal and Asherah, or Marduk and Isis. They have different names to them, but all derives from the same meaning and are based on the same concept of masculine attribute of God and feminine attribute of God. And these are not coming together. They are clashing together. They are even fighting in order to release old patterns of energy that are not in use anymore, that are actually hindering humanity from moving forward. And you see the ripple effects of that in technology, in the disclosures of higher intelligence, out of space intelligence that has been present on Earth for who knows how long, the advancement of artificial intelligence. All of this is not coincidental. All of this has been taking form and shape in the last few years, and maybe the biggest spark to this was the Corona times. And now we are seeing actually the last of that spark giving birth to a new concept of humanity. And humanity is shaken and awakened into a new understanding that the old needs to stay in the past, and the new is ready to take form and shape and lead the upcoming future, which is already happening. And in that future, we are all agreeing that we want peace and prosperity, and for that we need to start seeing the value in each other. We need to start realizing that we are all flesh and blood. We all have more in common than apart, and it is time for us to come together, and for that we need to shed all of what's still separating us. And this is mostly in our concepts, because people are in the end only playing a role to what we have here, to the concepts that we have here, to the way we see and perceive life, reality, and humanity. And since we want to move beyond lack, then we need to start embracing the capabilities that we have, not only as individuals, but as nations. For the nations have been shaping themselves in the same concept through hundreds and thousands of years. And each nation is not only in charge of or responsible for a certain geographical space, and therefore also for resources of Earth, but is also responsible for a certain concept, a certain mind structure. And that needs to start living in coexistence and in coherency, so we can move beyond the limitation that we've known so far, so we can continue developing, so we can continue moving into our next evolutionary stage, each of us individually, and therefore as one people. One people that are still have, that are constructed by different types of people, right? But every type of those people are showing their own unique light and bringing their own unique characteristics to the game, much like our physical body. Our physical body is constructed not only of different limbs, but also hundreds of trillions of cells and hundreds of organs, and they are all working to be able to function as one entity. I am one entity. I perceive myself as one. But inside of me, there are so many chemical reactions happening at the same time. So much interaction between cells. So much destruction and so much destruction happening at the same time in my body, every single heartbeat. And that creates life. That enables my experience in life, right? And this is happening in coherency and in harmony. When it's not, then we call it disease. When there's harmony, and when there's peace inside, and when the organs and the subcontext is working together, then it can enable me to do things in this reality, to experience reality in so many different ways. Imagine that happens to humanity here on earth. Imagine that happens, that every folk, every nation sees itself as a certain organ and the entire earth as one body, and that we start working together. This is already happening right now. This is what we're seeing happening. So my wish is that instead of criticizing it and rebelling against it, we will embrace it. Of course, we need to be with one eye open and always say, this is not happening right, here we can do better. Of course, always. But we should stop going against each other and allow the process to be, and make it as smooth and as harmonious as we can. Each and every one of us has a role in this. Thank you for listening. I'm Sagi Cohen. See you soon.